I got ripped off on eBay when I bought some hooks, and it's my fault. Let me explain the hook size dilemma and what you should look for when you're buying online. It's pretty well known that there are no industry standard sizes for hooks. Now, there's a little bit of an exception there for fly fishing because fly anglers obsess, absolutely obsess over hook size. So my perspective is any hook sizes from size 10 to 22 are going to be pretty standard across all manufacturers. But it's where you get into the higher sizes that you see significant variation. And that's why you can't just trust, like I did on eBay, that when you order a size 1/0 hook, that it's the size of 1/0 hook that you thought you were going to get. Now, let me go ahead and do the deep dive, and I'll show you exactly what I'm meaning using a couple different examples. I was looking for size 1/0 and 2/0 hooks on eBay. And so these are the 1/0 I bought, and then these are the 2/0, as you can see right here. Now, when I actually compared them and took them out of the bag, you can see that their sizes are identical. So 1/0 from this guy, this vendor, was the same as the 2/0 from this one. Now, just to do a benchmark, here's a Gamakatsu size 2. And you can see that it is definitely larger right down here at the bottom than what this vendor said was 2/0. And so here's where I made the mistake. What I should have done is done a benchmark against a national brand that I trust, the Gamakatsus, and measured to see exactly what the width is. You know, the length doesn't really matter too much, but I want the gap in the hook to be big enough. And when you go look at these, like here's this 2/0, and you can see that it is definitely smaller by about 1/8 of an inch than the Gamakatsu. So instead of these being 2/0, they're just 1/0. So here's the lesson I learned. Basically, you need to know your sizes. So what you like as a size 2/0 or 1/0 or whatever, you need to know what that is, and then you can look at the details of what is being shown on eBay and make sure that you're getting what you want. Now, on one of the vendors on eBay, I found this nice description of the sizes of various hooks, and it just so happens that the 2/0 matches up exactly with the dimensions of that Gamakatsu that I really like. So in the future, I'm going to use this as my benchmark, and I'm not going to buy any hooks from anybody on eBay that does not show the hook next to a ruler, so I can make sure that I'm getting the size that I want. And you really have to look closely because these sizes are not that far apart. So like a 1/0 is 0.66 inches in terms of the gap, the 2/0 is 0.74. It's enough to notice when you lay it up against a ruler, but kind of hard to notice when you're just picking them up in the air. So don't get ripped off, or don't rip yourself off by not being observant enough on what the vendors are selling on eBay. Make sure you're getting the size that you think is the right size, given that we cannot depend on the industry to have an industry standard. And I bet it's going to vary. These are all circle hooks between bait holders and kale and other types of hooks. So you got to be very specific and figure out what it is that you want and then use that measurement whenever you buy in the future. Comments? What's your experience on buying hooks? I got a lot of extra 1/0s that I don't need now. I wanted 2/0s. Comments? Throw them down below.